the government has created these special economic zones to provide incentives to investors, either tax incentives, work permit incentives, and various other infrastructure incentives to promote job creation and foreign direct investments so that we are competitive with other locations.
CTA with Ken, video 8.
This CTA, I was just saying behind the scenes, it's got me thinking, and more so not even just thinking, pondering, reflecting, looking at my own leadership journey and figuring out what are the differences between Ken and myself and what is it that I need to grow into. And I think if you approach it from that way, that's what makes this valuable. And for me, it's your mindset. I mean, you guys are going down to Vipingo and you're not even thinking about what you're going with. You're already thinking about what you're bringing back.
Yeah.
So you've already decided in your mind you're going to be successful. Also, you're not scared of failing in the same breath. You're like, what's the worst?
Yeah.
That mindset. In fact, let me just ask you this as we continue. What's the leadership mindset in your view? What's a leader's mindset?
There are different categories of leadership, but I think my sort of leadership is, how do I put it? Where I am today, I work through people. So I have to empower the team and the leaders to mobilize through people. I try and influence people to get the best out of themselves and to achieve what they would have what they would not have achieved on their own. So there is something you can do on your own, but now that you're working as part of a team, you achieve much more on your own without, as in working on your own without anyone pushing you. But you see, a leader, you're dealing with many things. You marshal your team to a certain vision. You work with the board. You align all those stakeholders. You then have to be personally effective, because you can have all these things and you're not effective, then you don't achieve much. You have to mentor, train, and be willing to give people an opportunity. They either succeed, they either fail, but you have to grant people an opportunity.
And that's our fear, or that's my fear. There's a vision that I'm trying to attain. How do you trust people with a vision, knowing they may not execute it the way you want initially? And that initial doing it wrong will be costly.
So you can minimize the downside. And I can give an example. So the person running Vipingo now, Martin, he's maybe 34 or 33 years old, is the GM. And he joined as a graduate trainee. I've worked with him throughout. The person running the Uganda business, Raphael, should be 34 or 35. The guys below them are also sort of very young. We recruited a graduate trainee class. The guys joined us 6 months ago. 28 of them. This January, actually the thing that I'm also grateful of, one of the young girls who joined just bought her first home. So we gave them a retainer. We gave them a salary and gave them the option of 1% commission. They have created a pipeline of 40 million in sales.
Wow.
And 400,000 has been enough for them 6 months down the line to be able to to pay a deposit for the house, and they have moved in, because that's incredible. So you have to keep empowering people to grow. Then I can fire myself from Vipingo and come to Centum RE as the CEO. Then I'll fire myself maybe again from Centum RE and move to another level.
Centum as the CEO.
Not any other level, or start another business. And then either Raphael, either Martin will come up. They will fire themselves from those jobs. So there is growth. There is a level that comes up. But if I was doing Vipingo, I will not be here. I would not have gotten the opportunity to go up. If I was still doing what I was doing in Uganda, I would still not have gotten an opportunity. So you must make yourself irrelevant at every level.
Wow, I like that. Growth, there's no way you can grow without delegation.
Yes.
And so learn how to delegate as a leader. If you want, because growth as a leader it's imperative.
Yeah, my belief as a leader, do what only you can do. Because if you do what only you can do and you delegate the rest, then you'll have time to see the next big thing, to optimize what is being done, and the others who can do everything that you do much better. They can't do what you can do because maybe they don't have the network you have. But anything else you can do, they will do it much better than you and more efficiently.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just remembered during the break, I actually went to find out what this website is, and www.centumre.co.ke. I'll say that again. It's the one on the screen, www.centumre.co.ke. So you can go there and you can get all information about the different projects that they're doing. The phone number, and I'm also seeing it's also WhatsApp, is +254 for those of you who are outside of the country, and the phone number is 0747019977. Again, it's the one which is on the screen. I'll just repeat it just so that they can be together. 0747019977. +254 is the country code for this amazing nation called Kenya. So I've understood this Vipingo. Explain to me the trajectory and what year are we then now?
So Vipingo in 2018.
Okay.
And part of 2018, 2019, thereabout. Then we carry on. I think COVID happens. When COVID happens, we're in the middle of construction. But government had said construction services, you can apply for exemption, carry on with construction.
So your construction in Vipingo?
Yes.
Okay.
The county government there had allowed us. So we applied for exemption. We also got inter-county travel permits.
Yes.
So in our own internal meetings, we decided that whoever can pull through COVID, we don't know how long it will be. But if you finished COVID with completed buildings, you'll be ahead of the curve. Wow. That's the team that said. We carried on. We just convinced our contractors, and we carried on with bits of construction. Our alley was finished then.
Yeah.
And we launched a few other projects. Kingswood started then.
Kingswood,
the serviced plots.
Okay, that's estate, within Vipingo as well.
Palm Ridge started then, and phase 1 was finished.
Palm Ridge was?
The apartments.
The apartments?
Yeah. So there was resilience just to carry through the pandemic. When the initial days of complete lockdown, we were locked down, but when they opened up, we went back full throttle.
Wow.
And we I think it was good to...
That's crisis now. That's leadership in crisis.
Yes, but you have to have cooperation of everyone.
And are you the one who's now trying to get the cooperation of everybody? Because you're the team lead.
No, now we are brainstorming because we were also worried. We didn't know. No one knew what would happen. There was no vaccine. There was nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, but we agreed we carry on.
Did some investors pull out because of that situation? Because
no.
They did?
They didn't.
For real?
Yes.
Wow.
We carried on.
Okay, that's crazy. And in that time, so now, is there any other project that you do, that you're working on aside that? Because Two Rivers by that time is complete, eh?
There were many. We're setting up new projects and also expanding. Even that Vipingo was growing rapidly. Industrial park came in.
I get it.
LPG plant came in. The water desalination was finished. So still carrying on with the projects.
You know, my mind has to understand that. I have to think of Vipingo like a city.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yes.
So my mentality has to stop thinking of it from it's actually a city. So there's different things happening in various areas.
Yes, and our business is like a conveyor belt. You have an idea. That's have an hypothesis that there is demand for apartments. I validate them. I sell. If I sell 30%, then I can start. Wow. Then you begin construction. You finish. You do the next one. So it's like a vehicle production factory. You're always manufacturing. Houses. Yeah.
I've been to Vipingo, but the side of Vipingo which I've been to is next to the conference hall.
Yes.
The
the ridge.
Yes,
Golf
it's a
course.
ridge, yes.
Okay, okay.
So in my mind, I'm now beginning to realize, no, but then there's also driving all that way
Yeah.
inside, and there's this side, and there's all these different things that are still Vipingo.
Yes. So Vipingo is a neighborhood. It's one of the fastest growing places
Yeah.
in Kenya. Connected.
Where do you
There's
see Vipingo going to?
It will be the hub. It will be the hub of that region. It's a master planned site. The road network is done. It's between three. You can connect it by air. You can go through Marindi, Mombasa, and Vipingo itself. There's an airstrip there.
Yes.
There's the SGR. So it's quite central. It will be a very active player in that ecosystem. And even on the coastal region ecosystem, it will be a node that can't be ignored. And now it has a special economic zone. So if industry is set up there, it will be the place to go.
And I think it's important to have a conversation about special economic zone. I've had the privilege of speaking with Triffic.
Brenda.
Yes, Brenda.
Yes.
Brenda, because within Two Rivers, there is
Yeah.
a special economic zone.
Yes.
But explain to people what it is
Yeah.
and just the impact. And does Kenya RE have conversation? Of course, now when you're selling, letting
Yeah.
people understand that it's a special economic zone and the tax benefits that even come with that is mind-blowing.
So just to give from a real estate side and the opportunity, the government has created these special economic zones to provide incentives to investors, either tax incentives, work permit incentives, and various other infrastructure incentives to promote job creation and foreign direct investments so that we are competitive with other locations. So like the SEZ in Vipingo and Two Rivers, some of the customers there are BPOs. These are call centers that support other big companies
Business
like Facebook.
process, what does BPU stand for?
Business process outsourcing.
Okay, yes.
And service companies like IT and the rest.
Yes.
So they support other like Facebook.
Oh, I get what
Google,
you mean.
some
Like a call
engineering,
center
yes,
with
yeah.
1,000 people,
Yes.
meaning 1,000 jobs come in.
Yes.
These guys are given incentives because
Yeah.
they're setting up within.
Yes. But I don't know. I'm giving the why the SEZ is important.
Special economic zone,
and
yes.
what's pushing it. So our understanding and looking at what is happening in the world, people are manufacturing in China. That was the world factory. But the cost of manufacturing there has become expensive. So that has shifted most of it to India. If you research on India, there were like 3,000 factories created last year. It's one of the fastest growing economies in the world. And soon it will be the largest. Even the population is quite big.
Yeah.
Now, the jobs that were being done there, these call centers and the rest, are not as high value as manufacturing. So those jobs have shifted elsewhere. Before they were being done in Philippines, India, and South Africa. So now that those are doing manufacturing, those jobs need to sit elsewhere. And those jobs are coming to Africa, either in South Africa, Kenya, or in other parts of the world, but Kenya particularly because of
Even English
and the rest. And now there is AI where you speak and it can enhance. You didn't tell who is speaking.
Yeah.
And then, so that's one way of why those jobs are coming here. And then when COVID happened, I think all countries in the world, the major economies, don't want to be stuck in one location. So you need to have multiple locations you're relying on. So there is an opportunity as a country to host those jobs. But if you check, I saw KRA from their website, PAYE is the largest tax component. Even if you combine outside of VAT, if you combine the rest, they are not as big as PAYE.
Yeah.
In the special economic zone, PAYE is not tax exempt. So you can create 5,000 jobs. These people will pay PAYE in full. So government can enhance that component of correction. If 5,000 people are employed, they will need a place to stay. So they need to stay within the same ecosystem. The better if they can walk to work.
Yep.
They will need places to shop. They will need places to entertain themselves. They will need places to take their kids to school. So they will need food. So an entire ecosystem outside of Centum is created by those factors that are global in nature that the country has taken advantage of. So this is starting. So now you can imagine 5 or 10 years from today, we could have millions of jobs created under that special economic regime.
You know, I say if you want to understand the power of bringing a collective of people together, think about Kukama, the refugee...
Kakuma, yeah.
Kakuma,
yeah.
Kukuma.
Yeah.
the economic zone that is there, the amount of economic activity that happens there, just because people have come together, it's out of this world. But so now the special, so Two Rivers got government, you need the government's permission to become a special economic zone.
There's a special economic zone authority that grants that approval.
Two Rivers and the industrial side of Vipingo.
Yes.
Wow.
So you get that designated as a special economic zone. There are many requirements. The incentive to investors, you need to create jobs, you need to show that you're exporting services. But that in itself will be able to attract investors here, but also create jobs. When people are working here, housing, and you can't dictate where they stay. They can stay within our development, they can stay in the neighborhood of our development. If you are an investor, then that means you say Two Rivers may have 5,000 additional people. I want to be a tenant to one. I want to be a landlord to one. So I just buy.
Yes.
Yes.
So if people call you, if people call the details that I just gave again, they can speak to somebody on that number, even for these conversations.
Yes.
To understand more about the special economic zone of Vipingo and what is offered there.
Yes.
And of course, I'm sure you guys work in partnership with your
sister company.
With your sister company. In terms of understanding, maybe for Two Rivers, the benefits of the special economic zone there.
Yes.
Wow. But that means, and this is the thing that I'm liking about what it is that you're talking about, you're working in partnership with government.
Yes.
As Vipingo. Have you?
Centum RE.
As Centum RE, in fact. Sorry, as Centum RE.
Yeah.
So, you're lobbying probably for the expansion of the road. Are those things that you go and do?
So you study the way we do market. You do market research.
You already see what they're going to do.
So like now, I saw a report that was released this week from Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. You see, if you want to know where the country is and the opportunities you can pursue, just go to the report sections of Kenya Bureau of Statistics.
Yes.
They show where the population will be in 2030. The amount, if you know where the population will be in 2030, it tells you the growth. These people will need food, they will need housing, and they categorize it in counties, in towns. Like now, what is of interest to us, I saw they are saying in Nairobi alone, the houses that were built between 2019, because they produced another report in 2019, the census report. There were 1.4 million households in Nairobi. Now there are 1.6 million households. So 200,000 households were built. Houses were built between 2019 today. That means 40,000 houses every year.
Yeah.
But they have also, in the 2019 report, they have shown that in 2030, these households will move to 2 million. So it means another 400,000 will be built.
Yes.
They have shown the population of Nairobi is at 4.8 million. Before it was at 4.2, and they project it to be 6 million. Why? All of us graduate, end up in Nairobi, 90% end up in Nairobi for work. There are people across the region coming. The population in Nairobi itself is growing.
I get it.
So these people will be housed. If you're supplying food, if you're doing insurance, if you're doing banking, there is your sort of market.
Yes.
So that's one component of insights. The other one, you can study government regulation. You see government is providing incentives in these 5-6 categories. They are planning to do these 5-6 roads.
Like affordable housing was a big
all
one.
those things. Then you position yourself to be in that segment. You don't need to even lobby anyone.
I get what you're saying.
Yes, yes.
It's like you already know where they're planning on building a road
Those
and
things,
expanding the road.
Yes.
And you know that linkage is going to mean faster transportation to and out of the city.
Yeah.
Does that mean a people who's going to grow here?
Yeah. So you don't need to lobby anyone.
I hear what you're saying.
You can study the market. You can study the registration and government policies. You can also study these UN World Bank publications. They give you an indication of where the market will move. Then you can position yourself there. And then by nature of all these things converging together, even the customers who come to you, they want a road. They will go and lobby.
Yes.
So the people who want these things to work are very many.
I hear you.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's... and you've answered my question on data.
Yes.
In terms of when you're trying to figure out what makes this land viable and this, that, the other, this is the data that you're collecting.
Yes, you can't make a decision without data.
Credible data. So it's not the essence of you just going around and having conversations with people. That is necessary to understand our ground. But you're also seeing in the future, because of this, that, the other, this is where this area would be. This will be the demand for certain services and products.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so COVID gives you a number, knocks you out a good one.
Actually, there is good, useful data for you.
Which
in
one?
That report, it's called Basic Housing Report.
Basic Housing Report.
It shows it's our 265 or 269 page report, but it shows the demographic profile of Kenyans. So some Kenyans 0 to 4 years are 6.2 million. I can't recall the number properly. 4 to like 10 are another 5 point something million. 10 to 15 are 6 million. So around 15 million Kenyans are below the age of 15. Then between 15 to 19, the young adults are, I think, 5 million. So 24 million Kenyans are in that age bracket today. Our population is like 52 million.
Yeah.
So that is the future market.
Wow.
For your audience, those are the ones who will invest in our houses. Those are the same ones who will bank, will do insurance. So we have to address solutions. If you want to be relevant 10 years from today, there is that segment that is coming into the market.
Yo, that is such helpful information.
Yeah.
What you're telling me is that my viewership is guaranteed to grow if I do these kind of conversations.
Yes, it will grow.
If I keep this, just by virtue of consistency, it will grow. And to be honest, I have seen that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm not even talked about a global population looking into Africa because of certain demand for African content.
Yes.
Are foreigners also investing? Is it leasehold? Are you getting a lot of foreigners also wanting to invest in properties?
Yes, by the virtue that you're doing commercial residential, you have to do a change of user.
Yes.
Once you do a change of user, you get a 99-year lease. That's the form of ownership.
Yeah.
And anyone can own that. Kenya and a foreigner, as long as you have a PIN.
Wow.
And they are investing. They are paying a lot of attention to this part of the world.
Is the golf course a high attraction for people? Because there's also events that you started doing, or is that part of the ridge?
That's part of the ridge, but it's part of what you can do when you're in Vipingo. Yes.
Wow. Okay, so what other developments? I've understood Vipingo extensively, and if you need more information about Vipingo, we've given you the website. The website is the one which is on the screen right now. You can call and ask about the special economic zone. You can call and ask about Vipingo. You can call just for information. Just connect. The information is right there for you too. In case you've been wondering, who do I speak to? Who have a track record? There you have some credible people. Do you begin another project at this time? Because I'm hearing you saying a lot of this time you've only talked about the two rivers and Vipingo. And also what I'm hearing you say, even in two rivers, there's opportunities.
There are huge opportunities.